This podcast has been rated NC-17 in parody for its frequent violence, adult language, substance use, and sexual situations. Please do not be offended. This is just a game, and we are enjoying ourselves. This is not officially rated, and thank you for joining us.
Boy. Okay, there we go. Dang the order to put it in. That made it really hard to frickin' hit unmute on the mic and such.
I'll hard you this time.
Man, I might just have to actually mute my physical mic so I can't talk to you guys during the intro. Oh well. 15 seconds where I can't talk.
Yeah.
Such a difficult
Oh
thing.
no.
What's up, Pixie?
I got it. So,
got it?
find a game or find a game to read. Which one do I do?
You should on that main list have access to the campaign directly, which means it may be the wrong account, wrong login information, which would be weird. Let's see. Best way we can check. You're signed in as Junkshti111, right?
Okay.
I'm asking, are you? Is that the username you have for your screen?
I put it under Star Green, but if that's the one that's showing you.
Yeah. Your proper account for it is the Junkshti111. That's the username. Oh no, technical difficulties. That's not new.
That's not new.
No, it's really not. But yeah, for everyone viewing, I'll try to make this the rest of this intro nice and quick. I'm still in need of financial help. GoFundMe, buy me a coffee, both down in the description if y'all want to help out. We've got the shop with all 6 characters merch up now. There's shirts, water bottles, coffee mugs. We've got shower curtains, a blanket, pillow, duffel bags. So there's all that fun stuff if you want to get some sweet swag. Deuce's TikTok is of course in the link too. Go check out that artwork because that's free. Like and subscribe of course if you like this so you can get notifications when we go live in the future. Yeah. There we go. Nice quick intro. Who wants to recap last session though?
I did it last time.
All right, so we got Wrath, Pixie, or Captain Flowers for the recap today. But I think with Pixie trying to get properly logged in to get her character sheet in front of her, that means Wrath or Captain Flowers. Which one of you wants to do it today? Do what, Wrath?
I said he can have it.
Alright, Justin, you got the recap for last episode, since you finally were there for a session, so you can recap.
Last time on Highroad Play. Captain Flowers finally decided to make it to the world. He'd shit himself. He decided to go hunt for wolves in the woods. And then he almost shit himself again because he missed. The party found magical space demons in a cave. They didn't shit themselves. Then they all got together, and now they're going back to the tavern in the woods with no wolves yet.
Ooh, we're doing all the things at once. The tavern, the wolves, the woods, all of it. Dang. All right. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, that is what happened. So there at the end, though, the all the things at once. What was it? I think it was Captain Flowers and Pixie. You two were going to go find the wolves. It was Nick and Pius were going to go back to get the boy's body. Where was Wrath going and all that? Actually, was Wrath going to go help with the wolves?
No, I think he was going back with the kid.
Going to go help collect the kid? Okay.
I'm pretty sure Wrath went back to town.
Wrath was heading back to town. All right.
Yeah. I don't think he was going with either party.
Fair enough.
Because I thought they were actually going to see about getting some skin for the boy.
Well, the other group was just going to go get the boy's body. You guys hadn't actually figured out exactly how you were going to handle the skin or bringing him back. Last discussed plan was body and revival potion being given to the parents and letting them kind of ultimately make the decision instead of necessarily subjecting this poor kid to more trauma. So, alright, so Wrath heading back to town, Pixie and we'll start with Pixie and Captain Flowers then. You two, we're at that point where everyone will kind of be splitting up. And so we'll start with the two of you. You notice there are tracks, but you'll have to roll some survival to follow them to see if you can actually track down the wolves in their location. So, survival checks from Pixie and Captain Flowers.
Survival checks.
Oh no, survival, the thing that no one in the party has both proficiency and high wisdom at. So we got a 10 for Pixie. And then we just need Captain Flowers.
Yep, my phone is being weird right now. Hold on.
Not surprising. I mean, if there weren't technical difficulties, I don't think it would be one of my games. There's always been technical difficulties. Even when we were all at a table with paper and pencils, we somehow had technical difficulties. So
that is true.
Dang it! Why is it my pencil that I sharpened? It is manual not working!
What is going on?
Right. So Rat, that nat 1.
We're starting off nice tonight.
So at the 10, you can at least more or less keep track of the where you're going, but it is going to take you a considerable amount of time to get there. So we will come back to that side. Wrath, you said you were heading into town. What was your plan for when you got to town? What were you going to do?
I thought our last conversation was us wrapping up the boy situation and then leaving for our quest. So Wrath was heading back in preparation for that.
All right, yeah. Well, we hadn't actually gotten the boy. Hadn't actually gotten the wolves. We hadn't actually done those things. It was everyone heading to do those things. So.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. I thought we were skipping the wolves. I don't know. My memory may be a little bit fuzzy, but I thought next step was leaving. I could be wrong though.
Well, the wolves were being taken with, and basically, if they couldn't fend for themselves, well, they were just gonna die then.
Yeah. Well, okay. Is that the wolves? I don't know. Are they going track? I thought the cleric was just gonna bring them. Or not the cleric, the druid or whoever you had spoken with was just going to bring them to us.
No.
Is that not the case?
No. Not bringing them to you guys. Party had to actually go find them, which is what Captain Flowers and Pixie are going to go do, is go find the wolves and basically have them waiting at the gate outside of town.
I completely misunderstood then. I guess I would be with them.
Yeah, I think we were all pretty tired since we ran for 4 hours last week.
I'd be with them then. I misunderstood. I thought we were just getting the wolves back to ready to go status.
Gotcha. Alright, so if you're gonna head with them to get the wolves, so Pius and Nick are heading to get the boy. Flowers and Pixie are heading to get the wolves. You kind of have a choice of which group you'd want to go with.
I'd go help find the wolves to speed that along.
Alright, go ahead and roll a survival then on that, since you're gonna help try to follow the tracks.
It is a 17.
17, alright. So you guys will be able to follow the tracks a considerable amount easier than with the other rolls. It only takes you about like an hour to find where they're at. It's not much of a clearing, but the trees are thinner right there. There are 5 wolves that you can see, but one of them looks almost twice as big as the others. The other wolves seem to be all kind of huddled up. They look like they're bunkering down for sleep around the larger wolf.
Big puppy.
Very big puppy. Looks like if it stood up, it'd probably stand about like 7 feet tall on all 4s.
Yarr, big puppy.
But they aren't paying you any mind as you approach. They look like they're trying to go to sleep. How do you want to handle trying to corral them to have them meet you?
Can we talk wolf?
You're looking at the wrong dragon for that.
Yeah. I mean, as a former sea captain myself, I'd have a hard time, but I wonder if they respond to wolves and barks.
Probably not in a positive manner, I'd imagine, if we just snuck up on them and started barking and howling at them.
Wonder where that crazy druid lady went.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how she expected us to corral a bunch of wolves.
Do you think they would understand if I played charades?
I can charm
try.
them.
How would you
Yeah,
charm
go for
them?
I could charm them like have them see me as bait, I guess. I don't know. It was just an option.
Bait.
All right, so I just rolled
Raph.
because I actually hadn't thought out that portion when I designed the quest. How you guys might actually get them there. So I had nothing preset in the world for that to help you guys.
Well, Raph walks over to the brush. I'm assuming there's like some small brush, and he goes and picks up a stick. And he's gonna walk over and just, here, boy, waving it around.
All right, go ahead and roll an animal handling check on that to see how they perceive your behavior.
15.
15. All right. So you pick up the stick and you go to start shaking it, doing all that. The big one does notice and goes to stand up. And you notice that there's also a mouse on the stick that you just picked up as well.
Okay.
But the large wolf does stand up. It is unbelievably massive. It looks like 2 of you could probably get on its back and ride it. That's how large it is.
Damn.
All right, boy. And then he's just gonna slowly like start walking towards the town, trying to keep their attention.
All right.
Or wherever we were gonna stable them, because we had a place we were gonna keep them, right?
You were considering the Drunken Dragon, possibly. Basically having people, any horses that are stabled there, kind of be moved out and then stable them in there for the night.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll start trying to lead them back that way with the enticement of a stick rat.
Stick in the rat.
Rat stick.
Pixie, Justin, the 2 of you are, you obviously you see him do it. It does seem to get their attention. They don't necessarily seem aggravated or anything. They seem to at least kind of get the point that this is not an enemy. Are you gonna do anything or just kind of like watch?
Come on, boy.
I can charm them with the witch's head and see if maybe that would entice them to come with us.
Yeah. I mean, you could. It wouldn't really be charming. It would be more. You're gonna show them meat and see if they follow you for the head. So you can go ahead and roll your own animal handling check on that as well.
Animal handling. I don't think I think it's only a +2.
Yeah, I think it's just your wisdom, which, yep, is a +2. So, how about
It
Captain
doesn't work.
Flowers? Is Captain Flowers just going to be watching?
He's gonna be trying to get everybody like going like come on all you giant wolf puppies, let's go. We're trying to get you out of this forest to another forest because crazy druid witch told me to, and I accidentally stole from her, so we gotta go going. Please understand me.
What time of day is it?
It is probably about like 8 p.m. now. Like we had wrapped up previously, most of the group has exhaustion, but the plan is like get back to town and sleep. So you guys are just trying to set up so that when you get up, you can actually get going right away.
Wrath turns to Pixie. You have an interesting relationship with that Patches fellow. You should go see if maybe he has a potion that would allow us to speak with these animals, to explain to them why we're enticing them to follow us.
Does my persuasion work? Can I roll for persuasion?
It would be animal handling, seeing as
fine.
they can't actually understand your words.
I mean, that's not a bad idea to go find potion, but
19 animal handling.
Nice.
So they do almost seem to actually understand what's going on. They do start to kind of follow behind Wrath as well, with you at the back, kind of keep making sure that the pack stays together and doesn't wander off. Pixie, you'd be going the exact same direction as them, so is there anything in particular you all want to try doing on the trip back to town? It won't be hard for you guys to find your way back.
I'm keeping an eye out for penguins.
You're keeping your eye out for penguins.
Especially for Ice Beak. That mongrel. That bird.
Oh, you know what we never did last session? We didn't actually introduce Captain Flowers and those major points everyone would know. So how about we do that real quick? Go ahead and actually introduce Captain Flowers to all of us.
Actually, okay.
Yeah, just kind of the major points, like what does he kind of look like? What would he be known for doing in town? Like, what was the big, like, heroic type thing that he did that made him more or less known across the world?
I mean, I had written, but so, where to kind of start. Captain Flowers is a mountain dwarf. He stands about around 4.5 feet high, feet high. Weighs about 150. He's got brown eyes and rust red hair and a big old bushy beard. He was supposed to take over the family business, but seeing boats, he wanted to go be on one, and his dad didn't like that very much, so got into an argument and he got kicked out. So he had to be a sailor after that and climb the ranks until he decided to become a captain. Basically, one of the things he was kind of known for in his early teenager years was basically exploring an unexplored ice cave off to the north. Some curious penguins had begun to peck at their ship when suddenly they had crashed, and all the sailors were tumbling into the frozen waters with no escape. The penguins weren't very nice, and they took over all the lifeboats and destroyed them.
Oh my.
Yes. By that time, Captain Flowers had managed to charm a giant octopus into getting him and his crew out of there. But not before a big old giant penguin had pecked him right near his junk, giving him a nasty scar on his inner thigh.
And there it is.
And to this day, Captain Flowers He has sworn revenge on all penguins, and specifically that one, which he has nicknamed Icebeak.
Lord.
And then at
Pretty
least
good.
as far as what kind of the whole world over knows him for is he is the impeccable captain of his ship, and they're probably the most well-known ship for non-pirating purposes. The job always gets done. He has navigated them out of unbelievable circumstances, even down to braving the kraken-infested water, quite like Wrath did. And they came out of it with no harm to their boat, no harm to the crew. And all of their crew had refused to explain how. Some deeply regarded secret as to how they always got out of trouble. Relatively unscathed.
What was the name of the boat? I'm sorry.
Did you ever name your boat Captain Flowers?
Pineapple Beard.
Pineapple Beard. That's the name of the boat.
Okay.
Funny story, Captain Flowers had bought that with pineapples.
Alright.
He had made a bet, and it was either the beard or the pineapples that he would have to pay with. And of course, dwarves can't give up their beards. It's part of who they are. So he stole a bunch of pineapples and paid for the boat for that way.
Alright.
And in that honor, he has named it the Pineapple Beard.
All right. It would probably typically be referred to as the SS Pineapple Beard, just so it sounds more like a ship and not a person.
She is a pretty ship. Yarr.
Yeah, but on that note, the Kraken's Bane and the SS Pineapple Beard never actually had direct interaction.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
but the
Of course,
two of
after
you
a
were
bit.
always obviously looking out for the other. Most notorious pirate crew definitely didn't want to interact with the sailing and cargo ship that was known for surviving Kraken waters without damage. Wouldn't exactly turn out well in the end. That definitely would have been a fight. So,
Oh yeah.
Of course, Captain Flowers had also made friends with a dragon turtle at one point. So
Is that known? Like that's public knowledge?
more like roosts, myths and rumors.
yeah,
Rumors? Okay.
rumors probably would include it. Justin, it is up to you whether Captain Flowers would have ever told these fellow heroes about it, because you would have interacted with them plenty, seeing as Pixie would probably have come to you for advice regularly on her own tinkering. The Drunken Dragon in Wrath would have been not only, sailing stories, but also the only bar in town. If there was any basic healing needed, you would have gone to see Wrath and Nick at the library, so you would have had these interactions with them. So it's up to you if you ever would have felt comfortable actually telling them the truth about that detail.
Well, embellishments here and there, but for the most part, his stories were always true.
Okay.
So they would also know that, the myths and the legends and the rumors of, a dragon turtle that was affectionately known as the Bloody Mary would be seen off the port bow of the SS Pineapple Beard,
Alright.
especially when facing other enemies or in tumultuous seas. Yarr.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, y'all. I gotta take a break real quick. My dad needs to speak to me for a moment. So we are taking our first pause in 5 sessions. So you guys can all talk it out and have little role play instances with each other, basically. I will try to make this quick.
Okay. Which was your favorite port? Captain.
Me favorite port. It was the Flynn Express, if I remember correctly.
The
Them
Flynn-
ladies.
Is
That
that
beer.
the one with the oh, what was the name of that tavern? The Wicked Wench?
Yes, the Wicked Wench. Yes, I
Ah.
remember it well.
I've been there plenty.
Plenty of friends made near myself.
Plenty of enemies also, I'd say.
That'd be true. The ale starts a flowing, the drinks start a coming, the women be a wenching. It was a wonderful time.
Indeed. What made you get off the ship?
Oh, you see, old Captain Flowers, he decided to take a break for a bit. He had gone to nearly all the ports and been in nearly all the women. But, deep down, he just wanted to just try to find something else to do. So, just came here to Pallet and, well, decided to be the local locksmith and just tinker around me a bit.
I know
See
the
what I
feeling.
can put my hands on. Try to explore new avenues.
So I'm back, y'all.
Welcome back.
Yeah, basically. So food was ready here on my side. So maybe later I will be stepping away again to go grab some. I'm not all that hungry right now, though. Homemade stromboli, though.
Ooh.
Heck yeah, my dad was cooking.
Ooh.
So I get to look forward to that later. So maybe we won't go for 4 hours because I'll want to, wrap it up and go eat.
Yes, it's your turn.
There you go.
Yes, it's your turn.
You can eat while you play.
I'll play you.
I don't know. I make a lot of weird noises when I eat.
That is true.
Yeah. Justin can attest to that. I mean,
Very much so.
We lived together for close to 3 years, didn't we?
Yes, that is true.
Judging by
weird
how
noises
many
all the time.
ASMR mukbangs are on the internet, I guarantee no one would have too much of a problem with that.
I mean, maybe as its own
I
thing, but in
agree.
the middle of a D&D podcast,
Oh yeah,
maybe they wouldn't be so okay with it.
Nah, I
Turn
see
it
what you
into a D&D mukbang video.
All right, yeah. So you guys can head to town without too much issue. Pius, you and Nick, after you part ways and you start heading, you notice that Nick's demeanor seems to change slightly. And he turns to you and very simply asks, Pius, is this you? Or is it that other person?
What do you mean?
I know at least most of us have gotten the point. Like, you can look at me, you can see that I am Nick. But then there's Relic, the other person inhabiting my body since the ritual. You can see it in Pixie's behavior easily enough. There's someone else in there, and they keep changing out who's in control. Cleth, all the same, he's even mentioned that the other person with him is named Garrus. So,
I
have you talked to this other person yet?
I can only feel his presence when violence is needed.
Well,
Otherwise, he is very quiet.
you are a kind-hearted person. Maybe it's for the best that he's here to help give you that shove needed when we really need you in combat.
Because that voice that I use when I am being stern, that is not me.
That's understandable, and I wouldn't change you for the world.
Thank you, Nick.
Otherwise, he does stay relatively silent during the journey. He seems like he's got a lot to contemplate from the whole situation.
We will figure this out. I promise.
He nods, and you can tell the smile he puts on is fake, but he's trying to look like it's not eating him alive.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you don't really encounter anything during the trip back to the cave. And when you get there, the body is still in the chest as you left it, as well as the rug that he had originally been wrapped in.
And yeah, we left him unwrapped, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay, I'll wrap him back up then.
Okay. Are you just gonna drag the rug behind or carry it?
I'm gonna carry it.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no real issues there, and you can head back to town pretty easily, pretty quickly. You can also take your time and kind of look around again if you want, just to see if anything was missed. Or maybe with new context, maybe you'll realize something else.
No, I think Pius's priority would just be getting the body back to town. He wouldn't be focusing on anything else.
Okay. Yeah. So you all probably get back to town around the same time. And as you're coming up to the gate and you're kind of getting closer to each other, Wrath, Pixie, Captain Flowers, the three of you notice that the mouse, who had been on the stick the entire time and never left, it never seemed anxious, it seemed focused and holding on to that stick the whole time. It jumps off, and the wolves' attention is drawn to it, and as it starts to run, the wolves start to follow it around the edge of town.
Should we do something about that?
Survival.
I'm gonna try to catch the mouse.
You're gonna try to catch the mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and roll athletics. Yeah. I had to remember what a grapple check was. Wow.
Athletics versus acrobatics.
Come on, Jess, what the hell?
Exactly.
Right. I was about to say
Fun.
acrobatics, as if somehow, doing tumbles was going to catch a mouse.
I tumble after this mouse, damn it.
You could argue that with it being so small, but I don't know.
True.
Somehow this mouse and its +1 dexterity beat you. That's actually not all that surprising. Little tiny mouse, not exactly the easiest to catch, allegedly. It outmaneuvers you, and when you go to catch it, the wolves go from just kind of following it to acting somewhat aggressive, and the big one in particular gets right in your face and just howls right there, snarling, saliva just drenching your face as it does so. It does not like the fact you were trying to catch this mouse.
I don't think they like that.
Okay. I had to just stand there and just right.
Well, they do look like they're heading over to the front gate of the town, where you guys will be leaving in the morning.
Should we just make sure they're
So
going to
it's
bed
on
down
its
or what?
hind legs in my face, right?
Yeah, I think.
What was that, Pixie?
confirm.
So it's on its hind legs in my face.
Oh, no. It technically is looking down at you while on all fours. It's only looking down like a couple of inches, but on all fours, this thing is actually taller than you.
Yeah, I just kind of let it do its thing. It's like, sorry. So sorry.
As you start apologizing, it calms down, and the whole wolf pack starts to follow the mouse again. And if I was hearing Wrath, Captain Flowers correctly, you guys want to just make sure that they actually head over there and they're just posting up?
Aye.
Alright. Yeah, it takes a little bit. They're not heading with any speed. It is probably about like 11, 12 p.m. at this point. You've been hauling it, trying to get this done, because most of you would like to go to bed.
The poor dwarf ass.
So
It's sore.
it takes a bit. They're taking their time. They don't really seem to be in a rush, and they also don't seem to care that you're following them. But they head over and they move into a spot probably about 100 yards from the gate itself, and the large wolf wraps itself up, does the normal dog thing, going in circles, pawing at the ground a little bit before it lays down, and then the others start to do the same, almost like puppies and their mother, as they start to snuggle into the large one. And then the mouse climbs up on top of the large wolf and lays on its head.
Very cute.
Don't see that every day.
I'm just, you look at their mouths and they could probably just chomp down with one good bite and kill us.
Aye, that'd be true.
Alright, well, I'm satisfied enough, and I turn and I walk away.
Aye, so am I. Let's just leave them alone.
Alright, was there anything anyone wanted to do before they head to their respective houses and go to sleep? Patch's shop is closed by this time.
That's unfortunate. Oh, well.
I need a stress drink.
Well, you know the place, and I start heading to the bar.
Aye, let us go.
Yeah, I'm headed there as well.
Alright. What about Pixie? Where are you heading? Pixie?
Aye.
Where's Pixie heading now that everyone's in town? The wolves are set in order to go. They're resting for the night. You know where to find them in the morning. Everyone else seems to be heading to the Drunken Dragon.
Everybody's going to the Drunken Dragon?
Yeah, everyone else seems to be heading that way. Well, Wrath, Pious, and Captain Flowers are heading towards the Drunken Dragon. Cleth actually departed from everyone when you guys split up. So he might be at the Drunken Dragon already. He might have just gone home.
I think I'll go home and take a nap. Go to bed.
Okay. Nick, he talks more to Pious than towards everyone else, but he's not really keeping his voice down. And he says he's just going to go home and see if there are any books that might be able to help with this multiple personality issue that everyone's experiencing before he goes and takes a rest.
Fair enough.
If you need anything, I will be awake. Let me know.
He nods and starts heading towards the library.
Who was it that drank the demon's blood with me last time?
Cleth did, and I think Pixie took one shot.
But Flowers hasn't had any.
No, he has not, because he was not with y'all.
Nope.
So back at the Drunken Dragon, Wrath goes ahead and you see him unwrapping like canvas from around a bottle of alcohol. Strongest stuff in the house.
Aye, strong you say.
Want a swig? And
Aye.
I don't know if you know what it is, but it's a bottle of demon's blood.
I mean, Captain Flowers, he's been around for a bunch of other ports and places like that. You'd think he would.
More than likely he would, but Justin, you know what that is, more importantly. And seeing as you're in there and primarily in control, that more direct sense of like it's your body sort of thing. oh, you know what demon's blood is, and you know how it can mess you up bad. But that it is some good drunk.
It is some good drunk. I need to get drunk.
I go ahead and pour 2 shots.
Yeah.
Pious, I know, you haven't really enjoyed much of the typical things that we eat and drink so far, but you're welcome to try it.
I will pass, thank you.
All right.
All right, con
Cheers.
saves for those taking those shots.
Cheers.
Ooh, that was almost so bad. 23.
23. All right.
Almost a 10.
And a 25. All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we are rolling Wrath's numbers first. Uh, 7 days. You have a +2 bonus to Constitution and to Strength, I believe is. Sorry, my brain's a little off right now. Dang it. I did add that notes section, by the way, to the character sheet. So, yeah, it's +2 to Strength and Constitution. You will have that bonus for 7 days.
Alrighty.
And you will also be slightly tipsy. So anything relating like alcohol intoxicants, you're going to have disadvantage on, but it's not enough to actually affect your other rolls.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then we need to roll the same thing to see what kind of lasting impact it has for Captain Flowers. 8 weeks. You have that same bonus for 8 weeks.
Oh, shit. +2.
Yep, +2 strength, +2 constitution for 8 weeks, and you'll be tipsy along the way.
I'll take it. A tipsy Captain Flowers is a good Captain Flowers.
Cheers.
I like this drink already.
I agree.
We're doing pretty well at this passing the saves on Demon's Blood. Way better than previous experiences where people were getting like mad drunk with hallucinations for like a month at a time.
Sailors are really good at drinking.
Yes, they are.
True.
That's
That
true.
is true.
That is true. Yeah, so the bar doesn't seem overly busy tonight. It's fairly low key. The manager's there. You have a waitress as well as the bartender, of course. And they're just kind of doing their job. They're chit-chatting with their downtime. It's slow enough that they can pretty much just stand there and have a conversation. But same for all of you. You guys can just have a conversation. You can order food, however it goes there. All of it's on the house because this is Wrath's Tavern.
Okay.
So, I know you've told the story before, but how'd you get away from the beast?
Aye, which beast are you talking about?
The same one my ship was named after, the Kraken, of course.
Ah, the Kraken. Where should I start? The ice caves of...
So some out of game context, Justin. Not sure how thoroughly I actually put it in your biography stuff, but yes, it is literally the dragon turtle that keeps saving the SS Pineapple Beard, which is why I said it's up to you how much you've actually told everyone else.
Right.
So, but I just want to make sure out of the game you have the right context there if you decide you want to actually tell the truth. So yeah, continue your roleplay. I'll shut up for you guys.
So there he was. I was only 80 years old at this point in time. nearly a man. Still a teenager for dwarfs, of course.
Of course, of course.
Of course. And there we go. We were going into the ice caves. Me captain. Captain Duckers. Good man. Good
I've
man.
heard the name.
Bit weird of a human, but he was a good man nonetheless. He decided we should go into the ice caves. He had been told there were treasures there that were being guarded. Of course, along the way, you know. As we got in there, me and the crew, we felt there was something off about it. It was just too cold for an ice cave. It was just too much of an infestation of penguins that kept appearing. First it was just one or two and they kept following us. It was kind of weird. Penguins, you know, they keep themselves. They go after the fish. And then more and more, and soon it's just like there was 50, and then 100, and then 500.
Penguins, you say?
Penguins. Can't mistake them. Little black beady eyes. Yellow noses and beaks.
That
They're
big
little
head's so
flippers.
full of lies.
There was one among them, a bit bigger than most.
Mhm.
That sucker, he stood almost as tall as me. I have never seen a penguin that big before. And all of a sudden, it screamed. It screamed so loud that all the penguins, they just started to attack the boat. And they started pecking it and putting holes into the wood. Of course, you know, Captain Duckers, he ordered us to fire upon the ducks. As we were doing so, the lookout up top, so confused by everything going on, he didn't forgot to tell the first mate where to go. And so we started crashing against the ice cave's walls. Of course, the men. Of course, me and the men there, you know, the ice just started falling down upon us from the roof of the cave. And then we started going to the waters. And of course, you know, me being the nice and dwarf I am, you know, I got just plunged right into the ice cold waters. And that's where I met that despicable penguin. That giant beast, I speak. That thing came after me with a vengeance. It was like I was seeing gold for the first time.
I hear they're quick in the water.
It was the most ungodly thing I'd ever seen. Just the way it moved.
I can't. I can't imagine quite how this relates to the Kraken, but an interesting story nonetheless.
Well, I'm getting to it. So, as me and the crew, we battled against the penguins, of course, trying to fix the boat.
Aye.
Ice Beak came at me. Almost got me in the pecker, it did. Gave me a nasty. Of course, that's as Captain Flowers is describing this, he just pulls down his pants and then he spreads his legs. And you can see like a massive, angry piece of scar tissue right near where his big dick is at. It's right there, you see? See how big that thing is. Such a sucker that thing is.
It looks like you were definitely stabbed with something you didn't want to be stabbed with.
I don't know if the thing thought my dick was a fish or what.
I am very glad we are in the back room.
The customers are used to worse.
Not the first time I told this story.
My.
So, you know, Captain Flowers, he pulls his pants back up, you know. And then, after that, there was blood in the water, and I started losing consciousness. And that's when I saw it. Giant kraken at the bottom, very bottom of the ice cave. It started getting closer to me. Its tendrils reaching out. And then, that's when I saw it at the corner of my eye, just as I was about to lose consciousness. Giant dragon turtle.
A dragon turtle, you say?
A dragon turtle. It's shell green and red. Bits of blue on it. It came after that kraken with such a vengeance. Oh. Of course, me, being the teenager Captain Flowers, I couldn't really do anything but watch and lose consciousness at the same time. I don't remember much after that. What I do remember is that I woke up on the boat. And of course, The dragon turtle's head going back into the water.
It had saved you then, or did
I
your crew
did.
fish it out?
Well, I don't know if it was the crew that got it off the dragon turtle or not. Captain Duckers, he never told me.
Ah,
I.
Hmm.
But then after that, the penguins had been scared away. And we finally got out of that cave.
I'd imagine it was a lot of recovery after such a arduous adventure.
Aye, it was. But I got a commendation out of it. And then, of course, then you see how it is now. I'm Captain Flowers, so it works.
Aye. Good story, good story.
Yar.
All right. So,
Regular transport slants.
anything y'all want to do tonight besides just kind of relax and essentially tell stories?
What can I help you with?
Pius, Captain Flowers.
I can.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Of course, Captain Flowers is telling his stories.
I'll have to make a couple of phone calls, but I can see.
Yeah, whole phone call going. All right. So just telling stories for the other two of you, for Pius and Captain Flowers, not really doing anything specific.
Nah.
Just drinking and swapping tales.
All right. We can mostly presume that that's pretty much how the night goes. Y'all just kind of sit down, tell some stories, whatever bits you can remember, but nothing too impressive. And we don't necessarily want to spend a whole session just role playing, talking out these stories. So we'll kind of breeze over past this. Now that we got that one story out, especially since that's probably the weirdest story any of the characters would have. Penguins, Kraken, just it's a good one to tell. Especially since, I don't even know the whole story. So I liked it. That was an enjoyable little moment. I had myself muted because there were a couple of times I was fighting back laughter. And Justin can attest to, if I actually legitimately break out laughing, I'm loud, and I will hit a point where I've stopped breathing.
It's interesting to see. I like it.
I mean, how many different colors have you seen me change?
3, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys all have a nice handy dandy night. You get your fill of food, drink, conversation. You can all head back to get enough rest. Captain Flowers, of course, you know where your home is. I presume you're just gonna head back there to sleep for the night, or did you want to head back to the house where your dirty clothes were?
Because
you are still wearing those really, really bulky clothes that are too big for you.
Yeah, let's go back there. I'm going back there.
All right. Yeah, so you get back there. The front door is locked. There are no lights on, but obviously someone's come home because they've locked the door.
The door be locked. He knocks on the door rather loudly. Hello, is anybody there? Anybody home? Anybody awake?
It takes a little bit, but you can hear the rustling around. The town's fairly quiet. And Cleth, who you did see before the group parted, the Blue Flame Knight, he answers the door. He's groggy. He's just like, What do you need this late at night? Are we going to see each other in the water? Water in the morning? Your clothes.
Clothes.
Oh, yeah.
The ones I shut myself in.
Yeah, that was kind of gross that you decided my blankets were the way to clean yourself. Don't appreciate that, but at least they're clean, and so are your clothes. and he's trailing off. He's clearly woke him up. He doesn't. He cuts off though and just kind of wanders off into the house. It takes him probably about like 2-3 minutes before he'd be heading back to the door. And he just kind of like hands you the clothes and then slams the door closed and locks it again.
I appreciate it. Have you a good night.
You don't get any response from him. It seems like he was ready to just go back to bed. All of everything that's been happening, just he was tired.
Well, of course, you know. And of course, Captain Flowers, you know, he's tired himself, but he's
Oh,
how dare you? Yeah, he takes his clothes and goes back to the other house.
all right. Yeah, so you head back to your house. Yeah, and you can go to sleep. You have an easy enough time getting there. Just being like tipsy for the next, 8 weeks. You'll be able to get to sleep nice and easy.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, things like perception to wake up to noises or things like that will be a disadvantage. So you don't wake up well, but you definitely go to sleep well.
I'll take it.
Pius, how about you when you head out from the bar?
I'm going to perch on my tower.
All right.
The tower.
As usual.
Yeah. So you head up there. Again, the town it's quiet tonight. Very quiet. You're not completely sure why there are so few people out. You're guessing just because of all the excitement and crazy from you guys were going to leave town, and then you've delayed it, and then there was enough evidence to suggest, yeah, that boy went missing, and then, oh no, the parents got robbed. I'm guessing you guys actually, since the discussion had been more or less like you're getting the body and getting it back to the parents right away, you already went there and dropped it off before going to the bar.
Yep.
If you didn't, Nick would have gone ahead and done the courtesy of such a thing, as well as taking that potion off of Pixie, the revival potion, to give it to the parents as well and explain the situation.
Yes.
So, as you're up there, though, nothing really happens through the night. You don't even notice anyone come out after about midnight. There's no real activity again until about 5 a.m. when people start getting up for early shifts. No, you see at about 5 a.m. that's when the shop lights go on at Patches as well. Of course, no entry exit, so your only assumption is that, yeah, him and his sister live in that shop.
Okay.
Otherwise, nothing through the night to be worried about, and you can get that long rest in to recover hit points, spell slots, and all that fun stuff. Wrath,
Okay.
do we still have you on mute?
Is there?
No, you're back.
Nope, I'm good now. I
Cool.
apologize for that phone call, y'all. I didn't realize what mic was picking up.
All good. Once I realized like you didn't even notice, I went ahead and just muted you for that moment.
I appreciate it. Again, I apologize.
Yeah, because it also, even before your message, they came into campaign talk, since I had already muted you. It was like, oh, this sounds like it might be work-related. Probably don't want to broadcast that on a live stream.
Yeah, probably not. Thank you.
So,
But yeah, I'm back.
everyone kind of departs, heads out from the bar. Pixie and Nick had gone to go to sleep a long time before that. Cleth even further behind that. But Pius and Captain Flowers head out. Was there anything that Wrath was going to do in particular?
Nope, just help close up the bar and call it a night.
All right. So you'd be going to bed before the bar actually closes. So, you'd help with like the prep
That's
work, basic prep work, probably still. but otherwise it's still going. You've basically got it padded and insulated in a way to help make it soundproof from your room. You're used to having to sleep through it anyways, so the noise isn't much of a bother.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, and everyone wakes up next morning, nice, rested. No exhaustion. Anyone who had a point of exhaustion no longer has it.
Woo!
Yeah. It wasn't me, but
Wrath, Captain
Yep.
Flowers, you wake up when the sun's coming up. It's not terribly difficult for you to like wake up on time, but you do feel very groggy. You're still tipsy, so you don't necessarily have the easiest time actually rousing yourself to get up, but you at least wake up when you're supposed to.
Right.
cool. I pour myself a stout morning coffee drink and go to the gate where we were planning to leave from. Or actually, no, I go by Patches.
Okay. He greets you as you come in. At first he seems a little hesitant, but after he notices like you're there by yourself, he's just, oh, thank God Pixie's not here. Is there anything? What can I get for you, Wrath? What can I get for you?
Well, here's the thing, Patches. I'm low on coin, but I need a potion that will enable me to speak with animals. Now, Pixie has some coin, and I could always send her down here to get it. But I was hoping we could make a deal to where you wouldn't have to go through that.
I would. How about this? You all took those rings, so we can communicate later, and we'll make it an IOU. Basically, I can sell you what you're looking for right now, one purchase, and you will owe me that money, and until you pay it back, I will not sell you anything else. How about that?
Deal.
Alright, so besides the potions of speak with animals, you clearly have an IOU opportunity to get additional things. You can tell he probably has limits as to what kind of gold cap he's going to put on it, but otherwise he seems open to doing this with more than just those potions. Was there anything else you wanted to pick up?
If there's any clothing or rings that might boost my AC, like a ring of protection or something.
So yeah,
but otherwise,
absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
He has. You say that, and he just basically starts listing off every item that can boost your AC: cloak of protection, ring of protection, staff of power will boost your AC. He pretty much runs down the whole list. He tells you it exists. He's got it.
Actually,
tell him which one you want.
Whenever he is showing Wrath all of the cloaks, what is that cloak that you can like change? Cloak of disguise self, or no? What is it? The one that adapts. Like you can change it to look like whatever.
So if it's just like changes its appearance to look like things without changing mechanical effects, it would be pretty much just glamored armor. And that would be all that is, I think.
Oh, Cloak of Many Fashions.
Cloak of Many Fashions. Okay. That is an actual thing.
Yep.
Sweet. What rarity is that?
It's a wondrous item, but it's common.
Common. Alright. That makes it pretty cheap for you then.
Yeah, all it does is you can use a bonus action to change the style, color, and apparent quality of the garment.
Okay.
And it can't be anything but a cloak.
So that one costs 25 gold.
Okay.
Then we have... Oh boy, I gotta clear those filters. If I could type, that would be helpful. I just typed in anemone while trying to type in animal.
Nice.
The sea anemone.
Sea anemones.
Aye.
So there's two options. You could go with Potion of Animal Friendship, which basically casts the spell Animal Friendship. It makes them friendly towards you, but they don't exactly seem like they're on bad terms with you anyways. There's also an item called Ring of Animal Influence, which would allow you to cast Speak with Animals, Fear, or Animal Friendship. It has 3 charges and regains 1d3 of those charges at dawn.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Fuck it.
Okay.
What is it called again?
Ring of Animal Influence.
Ring of Animal Influence. Okay.
Yep, and that is a rare, so that one is 2,500 gold.
Oh.
So that one's
2,500?
yeah, that one's gonna take a bit to pay off, actually. Everyone else can buy things from him though, so
Yep. That's what I'm banking on.
yeah.
But okay. I'll end it there. That's more than enough for my taste. That's what I came here for anyway. So.
Alright. I'm just double checking the rarity on that Ring of Protection. I think it's a rare. Yeah, it is. So that would be another 2,500 if you actually wanted the Ring of Protection.
Nah, that's okay. I'll stick with the 2 items previously mentioned.
All
so
right.
that's 2,550 gold in my IOU.
2,550?
Yep.
Should only be 2,500. No, that's right. It's 50 gold for a common. Why did I suddenly make it 25?
Just count.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I was misremembering my own numbers. I have had a really rough week mentally. You know what? I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. My birthday was yesterday. My birthday is always shit. So.
Oh, Sag.
No, I shouldn't say that. It's always shit if it's not one of the big years. Like, my 18th birthday, fine. 21st birthday, fine. 30th birthday, fine. But I've been kicked out of my house. I've had a girlfriend cheat on me with my best friend on my bed. I've had my mom talk about her adult toy collection in front of all my friends. That sort of stuff on my birthday.
That's sick.
Yeah, I've got a lot of fun stories for my birthday, but none of them exactly, positive.
Maybe next time. There's always next year.
Yep. This year, I gotta say it wasn't bad. I just was extreme body pain all day yesterday.
Unfortunate. But no, I'm good. Thank you, Patrick. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thanks for your business.
And I head towards the gate.
All right. Captain Flowers, did you have any stops for the morning?
Well, he's going to get dressed in his proper clothes first. He's going to take care of himself. He's going to at least, get a good free meal again.
It would be a good idea to eat before you guys leave. Yeah. So you get over to the Drunken Dragon, which, Wrath, this would be about the time you're leaving Patch's shop, because you're so close to it anyways, that wasn't much of a trek out. About the time you're getting back to your tavern on your way to the gate, Captain Flowers and Nick are both heading into the Drunken Dragon. And
I will divert and follow them.
yeah, they look like they're getting food. Nick's kind of rubbing his stomach. He seems to have something specific in mind for food. I don't know exactly what Nick's food preferences are, so I will refuse to elaborate on what he orders. But presumably
in
his favorite thing
addition,
he can get.
Okay. In addition, yeah, they're offered the meals for free. In addition to that, though, I'm gonna round up a good amount of like salted and dried meat. Like hefty bag over the shoulder amount, if possible, to bring for the wolves.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. This is going to be representative of your ability to have gotten stock for the Drunken Dragon up to this point, because clearly you don't want to leave the Drunken Dragon without enough stock to operate.
Of course.
So
17 persuasion.
17 persuasion. All right, you were able to collect 8.5 pounds, which of dried meat, 8.5 pounds of other things you're fairly certain that the wolves can eat. So about what is that number? 17 pounds? Yeah, 17 equal to your roll. You got 17 pounds of wolf food,
Cool.
which you suspect is 2, maybe 3 days worth of food for them, but it's
Better than
something
nothing.
in case they can't find food for themselves that day.
Exactly. Works for me. So there's just this bag of meat next to us as we're all enjoying our breakfast.
Yeah. Pius, how about you? You're up on the tower, so you can see when Wrath first comes out of the Drunken Dragon and heads into Patch's shop.
I'm just gonna head for the gate.
Okay. And then that leaves us with Pixie. You wake up, and you're also the furthest one away from the gate, as well as the Drunken Dragon. So, even if you went straight to the Drunken Dragon, you'd only be getting there as, like, everyone's sitting down at their tables, and Pius is already off to the gate. So, when you wake up, what are you doing?
I guess I'll just kind of mosey on, trying to get dressed with all of my lovely outfits that I have. Go through all my clothes.
Alright, yeah, you can do that. You know that it would probably be best to wear something a little bit warmer. By the way, everyone, it's that set of common clothes you start with would be a set of winter clothes, not a set of common clothes, because, again, you guys would want to wear warmer clothes knowing you're in the mountains where it snows.
Of course.
But you have a few outfits. You can kind of choose more or less the style and what it looks like. As long as it's more medieval style. Obviously, you can't wear, like, a cyberpunk fur jacket and these slick black leather BDSM pants. Nothing like that.
Oh man, I have to change my Nirvana shirt. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
yeah. None of that. I mean, maybe you guys have heard of Elvis Presley in this world. I could roll that if you care. Some old school artists maybe have been around in this world, but
sitting on the dock of the bay.
Beethoven, definitely. People definitely know Beethoven in this world.
Beethoven, okay.
Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, the essentially ancient major musicians they're known in this world.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, Pixie, it's up to you how that really you want it to look, especially since of everyone, your character profile picture that we've come up with definitely was you back when you were a noblewoman, not what you wear now. So, but you can think on that. You don't need to give me any information. But after you get dressed, Did you want to head to the Drunken Dragon, head straight to the gate? You notice you're hungry by the time you get to the center of town to head to the gate. So
I'm gonna go over to Patches.
okay. So you head in, and he lets out a very, very distinct, there is no denying that this is directed at you, and he just, ugh. And what can I do for you today, Pixie?
Shut the fuck up, man. I'm here. Just treat me with respect, you little shit.
You know, you tried to sell someone into slavery. You tried to call a person a rowboat, and I honestly, you want me to treat you with respect, but I don't feel you've been treating me with respect. And if you came in for whatever to speak with animals, your pal Wrath has already purchased stuff for that. So, what can I do for you today?
What do you mean by purchase?
He
What'd you do to
purchased.
him?
He gave me money, and I handed him product.
How much?
Well, he got a ring and a cloak.
Give me back his money, and I'll give you some really nice outfits that are like $20,000.
Alright, so you pull out those two really nice outfits then? And
Yeah.
offer them to him? Yeah. So he looks at them, and he just gawks for a moment. It takes him several minutes to get over the fact that you have these. And he just finally looks at you and he's like, these are real Giuseppe's!
No shit!
So I'm not willing to offer you, of course they're full market value, I have to make a profit off of these, and they are not going to be easy to sell, but I am willing to give you 10,000 each, so 20,000 gold total, or subtract what your friend still owes me, because I did sell him those items on an IOU. He did not actually hand me any gold at this time. So we could I'll call his tab covered, and I can give you the remaining of 20,000 if you would like to sell these to me.
Wait, you did an IOU? You didn't tell me that, you little shit. Well, why are you taking advantage of my friends, man?
I'm not. He asked to make a deal, so I made him an offer. I don't think it's taking advantage when he got what he needed now. I'm trusting him. I don't trust you, but I do trust him.
I bet you're gonna do a lot of interest on that, huh? On the IOU, there's gonna be what, 70% interest?
Oh, no. No, I'm not charging him any interest. He owes me 2,550 gold, the cost of the two items he got. You'll be bringing me plenty of business along your journey. I don't need to charge you interest to turn a profit.
Fine, deal. Take them.
Alright, let me pull out a calculator. I should have been doing that during this period here of conversation.
And
so
another thing is... I want good berries.
So he hands you he does not hand it to you directly. He pulls out an object from under the counter. He has it clenched in his hand. It's rather small. And he looks at you and says he will be taking it out of the 17,450 gold that he owes you, but he will give you the remainder of that, as well as this ring. Because the item he's giving to you is only worth 50 gold, so he will be giving you 17,400 gold and this ring, if you agree. He seems to be very formal about this process, because it is a deal. So unless you agree, he will not hand you this ring and the money. Otherwise, he'd just hand you the money if you don't agree. He's going to give you what you're owed for the clothes.
And he's paying off the friend's debt.
Yes.
Okay. If I give you another outfit, I want good berries.
So he rolls his eyes and he goes, No. I think you must understand. This ring that I am choosing to give you that costs 50 gold allows you every day once to cast the spell Goodberry, so that every day you may have 10 good berries for yourself and your companions. I don't need to
Deal.
give you good
I'll
berries
take
because
it.
I am giving you a means to make them.
Deal. I'll take it.
All right. So we're putting that in your inventory as Goodberry ring. I'm typing that in right now for you.
Goodberry.
So yeah, you'll be able to cast the spell Goodberry once per day. And he also handed you the 17,400 gold, and Wrath's debt is paid.
Woo!
Goodberry, it's a party in your mouth.
And of course, as he finishes handing it to you, he asks if there's anything else he can do for you.
Yeah, stop taking advantage of my friends and stop making stupid bets. And deals.
I'm not taking advantage of anyone except maybe you, but I'm trying not to do that because I'd rather not cause problems for your friends. As I said, I'll be making
I
plenty
don't
of
care
money
if you
off
take
of
advantage.
all of you.
Just don't take advantage of them. Right now, I just don't trust you, and I just don't take advantage of them. If you're gonna do deals, deal with me, not them. Have a good fucking.
He just kind of, as you kept going, he started to say something. He stops and he just smiles and lets you leave, just waving at you. Goodbye. Doesn't say a word.
And I'm flipping them off at the same time.
Yeah, he clearly doesn't want any piece of a fight with you. So
So I'm going over to the drunken dragon.
all right.
Well, first off, I'm gonna go actually give the wolves their good berries, so they'll be okay.
All right. So you know that the good berry spell only produces 10 berries, and there are 5 wolves. So if you give 5 to them, that is not quite enough for your full party of 6. So someone will still have to eat some regular food instead through the day. But yeah,
That's okay.
you can head to the edge of town to go give the good berries to the wolves. You'll get there after Pius, of course. So you get to the gate. Pius is standing there waiting. Yeah, Pius, you see Pixie walking up to you.
Hello, Pixie. Are you mad at me? Did I do something?
What are you doing?
I am waiting for everyone so we can venture out.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm not mad at you. I'm just frustrated with fucking Patches. He's irritating me.
Understandable. He is a piece of shit.
He is. He took advantage of one of our party members.
How so?
Apparently, he did an IOU and conned. Don't want to say names because it's not my place to talk. But someone in our party got took advantage and started doing an IOU with him, and frustrating.
We will deal with him later. There are more pressing matters at hand. I promise you, he will face the consequences eventually.
I'm this close to actually just tying him a rope and just putting him around the wolves and saying, Bon appetit! I will feed him to the wolves if he starts pissing me off again.
That does sound fun.
Doesn't
I
it?
mean,
You wanna help? Let's go get him.
wait, what am I saying?
Let's go get him now. Let's go get him and feed him to the wolves.
No, that
You
I
ordered him
don't.
a couple seconds ago.
That I don't think that was me.
Oh, just snap out of it, and I start slapping him across the face.
Ow! Ouch! Ow! Why are you slapping me?
Trying to get you to snap out of it.
Causing him harm will only bring us bad tidings for our journey. We may need him eventually.
You hear a all too familiar voice of someone you're also not so happy with chime in after that with, it's probably true. I didn't get much out of Jessica, but she did say that if myself or Patches were to do anything to harm you, we're going to suffer some pretty terrible consequences. I don't think either of us is going to try to cause any issues for you.
That is good to know.
Also, she, I want to say, wishes to apologize about her choices with that poor child, but I don't think she actually means to apologize. I think it's more she meant to make the answer more obvious, I think is what she really wanted to get across. I don't know, she smattered it with quite a few insults towards me.
That's because you deserved it.
I feel like that's a little harsh, considering I'm only a part of this because I was forced to be. I'm a slave at this point, and it's not very, very pleasant. But I guess if you feel I deserve it, I won't argue with that. Considering you could all probably end my life fairly easily. Well, not really. I guess I'm immortal. Oh, I wish my life would just end, though. I'm not happy with this. I've been living in a cave for 250 years. Oh.
That could be arranged. The wolves are hungry.
Da, da, da. He just like starts making noises and is walking away like he forgot what he was doing.
Well, have you seen the others, Pixie?
No, I haven't seen the others. I just came from from Dipshit's shop.
Oh. Well, if you do see them, please let them know I am where I'm at the gate, and I'm waiting.
I'm going to just do what I'm gonna do, and you can follow me over to the Drunken Dragon. Drunken Dragon.
If that is what you wish, sure.
Yes.
All right.
Alright, over to the other side at the Drunken Dragon. You all got your orders. Had a moment to eat. You'd probably be finishing up your meals at about this time. Obviously, you haven't seen Pius, you haven't seen Pixie, and you also have not seen Cleth yet.
Well, I assume the rest are waiting on us. Pius, anyway. I don't see why he would come for a breakfast.
I don't think he could eat anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, he can eat. Trust me.
Oh, he can, he?
Aye.
Nick
Never tell you the
lets out a
time
soft,
about the time a giant owlbear ate a king whole and turned into a bee.
Tell me about it on our walk up there.
Hey, I can do that.
So Nick does confirm, of course, that yeah, like him and Pius had left the library at the same time, and he came to the Drunken Dragon, and Pius headed to the gate right away. So yeah, he says at least Pius will be at the gate waiting. He has no idea about Pixie or Cleth, though.
So I pick up the bag of meat and I'm heading towards the gate.
All right.
Listening to Captain Flowers' story of an owlbear.
Nick pulls out a piece of parchment and a quill and some ink. It looks a little odd watching him like hold this because he got like a solid board that he's got the paper on and he's got the ink balanced on his wrist, but he seems to be scrolling down like in shorthand Captain Flowers' story as well. Back to the other side. You don't see them approaching yet. So, Pixie, are you gonna head over to the wolves, feed them the good berries?
Yeah, I thought I was already there.
I'm just verifying that was what you were doing after your conversation with Pius. So,
I could go get Patches and feed him to the wolves. I'm halfway tempted on that out of game.
Yeah, you could. You could try. Unfortunately, there are a couple of characters who have been granted plot armor, and he's one of them.
So, just giving them the good berries.
Yeah, when you get over to the wolves, you notice that Cleth is actually already sitting there with the wolves. He seems to have gotten a head start on everybody and is sitting there eating a loaf of bread. And he gives you a wave, but he doesn't actually say anything as you approach.
I wave back. And I just start kind of like, come here, guys! Come here! Get some good berries!
Go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me then real quick.
I'm not good at this.
You don't have to be. It's an easy check. This is more to see, in the fact that you're waking up mad at, two different people this morning, as well as probably slightly anxious about actually getting out on this journey, if you manage to control your tone of voice. So the larger one just kind of looks at you. He notices the berry, so he just kind of like drops his mouth open lazily, like he expects you to just feed him. But the smaller ones kind of jump startled, not sure what you're trying to do. They don't get the gist of it from your tone of voice. But they don't try to attack you or anything. And Cleth kind of just starts gently petting the one next to him.
Well, I guess I could actually call Clef over. Hey, Clef, give him some... I got these good berries for the wolves, since they like you enough, will you feed them?
If you put a berry in the larger one's mouth, since she, I don't know, I haven't gendered any of them. But in the big one's mouth, it'll at least show the others that, you're not trying to harm them.
Okay. I was already gonna do
but he
that.
also offers to take some of the berries to start helping pass them out. So y'all can feed them pretty easily. Once you put the berry in the larger one's mouth, the rest of them get the point that, oh, this is food. So, it would be about this time that everyone else from the Drunken Dragon would be able to catch up to the gate.
As we're walking up, you all see, or whoever can see Wrath, pull out what looks like a plain brown cloak out of his bag, and then flip it over his shoulder. And as he does, the cloak becomes like a deep blue, fur lined on the inside with like almost what you might consider like dragon scale looking shoulder pieces. And there's white lines across it, kind of almost, it's kind of a splatter on the back, kind of looking Storm-esque. And there's a faint black shadows across it for like clouds and what you can almost see as like a ship on the seas in this storm.
Fancy.
I feel like I should put this one out there, just because any type of glamoring item, like, it's magic, your mind creates the image, and it shifts to look like that. You guys have knowledge of our modern world of cyberpunk settings, so if you're using magic like that, you can envision these futuristic-looking things and have them glamour into those. They just wouldn't have, obviously, the functionality. They would just look like it.
And that's all this is it just changes its appearance with my will.
Yeah. So, I feel like I should point that out, because you guys do know of them, and it's literally just an image that your mind has produced being made visible to others, so... Even though you can't find or buy things like that, you absolutely can glamour or illusion magic that those images for others.
Okay.
Even like illusion magic for sound. Like if you really wanted to, you could show people modern music from our world if you know the sound of the song in your head.
Right.
So.
Do I see this?
You're a bit of a distance away. You can see everyone approaching, but you can't really see what's happening. Just like everyone approaching the gate, you're coming up on Pius, and you can see out past the gate that 100 yards or so, you see the wolf pack, and you can see Pixie. And Pius, you'd notice after she got over there and started talking, you noticed finally Cleth actually stood up, and you could take note of the fact he was over there. So you guys can all kind of tell that all of you are there in the gate area now.
Alright. Well, and I slip the ring onto my finger. Let's see what this bad boy can do, shall we? And I'm gonna walk over to the wolves and cast... first I'm gonna cast Animal Friendship on the biggest one. So it needs to roll a what is it? A wisdom saving throw.
Fail.
Okay, so it's charmed by me, and then I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. As soon as you do, it's more or less aware of how these magics work. It seems a fair bit more intelligent than a typical wolf. So you cast the first spell. It can feel itself get charmed. You cast the second spell, and it seemed to start speaking after you cast the first spell, and then pause when it realized, oh, charming me. That's kind of weird.
I'm not getting beaten today.
It's like, I'm not being aggressive. So when you cast the second spell, it's like, I don't know quite why you charmed me. Taraya told us to go with you. I mean, didn't you hear her? She was on the end of the stick, talking, when you were waving it around.
Well, at the time, I didn't understand any of what she was saying. That's what these spells are for. So, yeah, okay. As long as she's explained everything to you, I think we're good to go. Just, here. I don't know. I look around. I don't know who's going to carry all of this. I'm gesturing to the 16 pounds of flesh that I have in this bag.
The little wolves, more so than the big one, kind of just... They start yapping. You can tell that they're all essentially children. Like, they're full size for a wolf, but they're all acting like they're children.
Okay.
And
So like
they all kind
dire
of start yapping in excitement at the thought of, prepared meats. One of them's even like, "Oh, that berry was amazing. It made me feel so full for the first time in weeks." But meat.
Mhm.
And they start getting really excited about the idea of meat. And the bigger
So
one
I-
kind of tells them to calm down like a parent would to their children.
Right. So I ration out a little bit for them to eat now, but is anyone good at fashioning things by hand? I'm gonna ask aloud.
I am a bit. I think I can do a few things with my hands. I can't
Well,
complain.
I was thinking about making just like individual packs for the wolves to carry meat on so that we wouldn't have to walk around with it. Just cutting up this bag maybe and using it, I don't know, as like a little dog backpack that they'd be able to eat off of if needed.
So, Justin, you'd be aware that your bag of holding could fit all that meat and still have plenty of space in it, too.
I'm pretty sure we could do that. But I could also just put it in my bag of holding.
Oh, well, yeah, that simplifies things a lot. Here you go. And I hand
Right.
over the bag.
It does.
Alright. Well, now that that's solved, is everyone here?
Yep, everyone's
Mentally,
standing there.
physically, or emotionally.
What was that, Pixie?
Hopefully.
Mentally, emotionally, or physically.
Hopefully all three.
Oh, okay.
Is Clef here?
So yes, Clef is there, but after you say hopefully in response to the whole mentally, emotionally, physically, you do hear a voice. You hear my voice, actually, just kind of in your heads going, technically, I'm here in every sense of it, but also technically not. Have fun, be safe, and can you try to be nice to my NPCs? I know some of them can be dicks, but there has to be variety or it gets boring. And then you kind of feel the connection cut.
Wrath kind of shakes his head like a dog whenever he's been wetted. Ugh. Such a strange sensation.
Hey, you felt it too?
I
A strong urge to find a catfish.
Yeah, and you do notice that feeling, it's not quite like other like telepathy or anything where you just kind of like hear that voice. You don't necessarily feel the connection, you just kind of like feel like there's a presence. This one almost seemed to tug at the base of your spine, like at the bottom of your neck where it connects. Not the base of your spine, the top of your spine where it connects to the brain. You could feel almost a tugging there when I spoke to everyone.
Well, I suppose we best be off. Unless anyone else has anything to do.
Well,
Hey.
first off, Raph, did you go see Patches today? Was it you?
Aye, that's where I got the ring.
First off, he's an idiot. Second off,
I know.
here's your gold. And
Wait,
second
what?
off, here it is. Here's your money back.
So you're trying
I
to hand
didn't-
him 2,550 gold?
Yeah.
Lass, I didn't pay for anything. I
know.
appreciate it, but this is not my money. This is your money.
Right, but I also paid off your debt.
Then I'm in debt to you.
No, I cleared your debt from Mr. King Dong over there.
I understand. I'm saying I owe you one then. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And third off, did you know I actually have another outfit just like the one that you're wearing?
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yes.
So, just something to note in particular for Nick, Pius, and Wrath. Star, Justin, and Garrus would be familiar with this from my other campaigns. But you notice she just kind of like, you know how gold pouches are just kind of smaller pouches, maybe the size of a fist when you put your hand in there?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that like she reaches in and just like with both hands and just pulls out this mountain of gold bigger than the bag to hand you. Like she pulled out that 2,550 gold like all at once out of that standard sized gold pouch.
That's quite the bag you have there, lass. Again, I appreciate it, but I owe you. You don't owe me anything. Thank you very much.
So, from an out-of-game standpoint, because I haven't talked about this one, it's called a money pouch of holding. Essentially, I don't want to keep track of weight or placement of your money. I'd rather do that with your items. So, you have a pouch that literally can only hold currency, but unlimited amounts.
Got it.
Cool.
Yeah, since you weren't familiar with that out of game, it would be a little weird to you when you see this happen for the first time. Whereas Star, Justin, and Garrus would be familiar with the fact that I do this, and that's probably all they're used to for money.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, shall we?
Yeah,
Yes.
we shall.
All
Alright,
right.
Captain. Lead the way.
And so the journey officially begins. We are 5 sessions in, over 8 hours of gameplay, and you have officially left the town and begun traveling the high road. As you're traveling out, it takes probably around an hour before you reach the edge of the valley and head onto the road into the mountains itself. As you reach this point, the shrubbery seems to change slightly, more from like the pine trees and fern bushes into hybrids almost between these very leafy bushes and the more prickly, pointy leaf bushes. They seem to be combinations of probably the type of tree further down the road and what was in the valley. They're hybridized. And it's around like 7 a.m. The sun hasn't quite peaked, but is just getting fully over the mountain range. Crystal clear blue skies. And you're filled with a sense of hope, wonder, adventure. Actually having stepped on the road, that kind of building anxiety that the characters themselves were probably feeling up to this point starts to fade as you finally begin to travel.
Whee!
Yeah.
The road itself is about 30 feet wide. It was made for carts along the way. It has been more or less like old Roman paved roads, just this brick laid out. They're all worn, they're old. It hasn't been maintained in about 3 digits worth of years. But you can still tell that it used to be a golden color. It's dirty and brownish now.
These roads haven't seen travel in a while.
Until now.
Pioneers. Who'd have thunk it?
All right. Is there any particular way that any of you might prefer traveling down the road? Like, do you guys want to travel in a formation, or just kind of different people take lead at different points. Sometimes you guys stop and maybe check things, or do you want to try to take a tight-knit formation and quick travel down the road?
I refuse to get my shoes dirty. I won't go.
You probably have self-cleaning shoes. Let's be honest, you were a noble woman. You probably have self-cleaning shoes.
Auto prestidigitation.
Yeah, they basically just enchanted with prestidigitation to just kind of happen whenever they get dirty. The rest of your clothes, not so much, but your shoes definitely, because you got to walk around on all that filthy, poor person dirt.
I'm betting that it was mud.
I mean, the mud would be cleaned off too. You're familiar with that, obviously, because they're your shoes.
Yeah.
Heck, they were probably the only clean part of you after you were caught murdering 85 people.
If you think this is bad, just wait until the sewer level. Why did I say that?
I'm not sure we'll be seeing any sewers anytime soon, Pius.
But there is always... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying you wouldn't want to go down them. They stink and they smell.
Yes, but that is where all the loot is.
They're also typically attached to cities, and I don't think there's any on our path ahead until we reach our destination.
Well, usually they appear halfway through.
Fair enough. I'll keep my eye open for a manhole.
Aye.
If we find a sewer, I'm going to totally come back to it and throw patches down there.
You guys find a sewer almost a month of travel down the road, and you're like, I'm going all the way back to grab patches, drag him here. We're adding 2 months to this journey just so I can throw him in the sewers.
Thanks.
Exactly.
Wow.
Dang, I think I need to just get you a copy of Dark Souls. It send you a link to the cheat codes that I found for the game. That way you can kind of just get through the game to patches and then just kill him. Give you the infinite health cheat. That's the important one. Because I know you're not much of a gamer in that regard, and Souls is not easy.
So we're on foot, correct?
Yes, you are on foot, no type of carriage or anything, and only one of the wolves would be big enough to ride.
So that was my question, was like, how are the wolves following? Or are they kind of just scattered out around us? Or
the wolves are sniffing around as you're going, unless of course you guys are trying to go at a fast pace, in which case they'll be focused, but they will be following behind. Like, they won't go ahead of the group, because they were told to follow you. And they kind of left in fear of dying, so they definitely don't want to be the first one to encounter something.
Right. So I'm gonna kind of just keep an eye around us, but focus a lot on if the wolves pick up anything.
Okay.
May I ride the big one?
Well, that's between you and it.
Yeah, you can roll an animal handling.
Here, there's one charge left on this ring for the day if you want to try speaking with it.
Sure.
I hand the ring of animal influence over. Just hand it back if you don't mind when you're done.
Alright, so you go ahead, you get that ring on, you go to speak to the wolf and ask if you can ride it. So you get a choice here because you're actually directly speaking to it. You can roll an animal handling check, or you can roll a persuasion check. I assume you want persuasion since you're proficient with a high charisma.
Yeah. This one's... Yeah, I'm +7 with that.
Yep. Yep. So you can go ahead and give me that persuasion, and we'll see what the wolf thinks.
Yes.
18. Okay, we are going to go ahead and roll an insight for him, which isn't exactly great. He has not the greatest wisdom. He is still more or less an animal. He got a 2. So ultimately, the way he takes it, the words you choose, he kind of... He takes it almost like it's a great honor to let you specifically ride him. You are a person of great importance and the type that people only wish they could do favors for you. So he takes it as that type of prestigious opportunity to serve you as a steed for the time that you're together. So yeah, you Pixie have permission to ride the big wolf for as long as you're traveling together.
Okay.
All right. So it only takes about another 3-4 hours. Yeah, about 4 hours. We've reached approximately 11 a.m. in game on this day, and that's when you start to notice that a lot of rustling is occurring in the nearby trees and bushes.
Can we tell how big it is or anything about it?
It's coming from multiple spaces as if there's multiple creatures.
It's the penguins. They're back.
I doubt we'd see many of the birds in this climate. Maybe a little further north. I'm gonna kind of just watch this thing cautiously. Or these things.
I'm gonna pick up a chunk of the brick and throw it at one of the bushes.
All right, you're gonna throw it at one of the bushes. I am trying to remember the challenge rating. Actually, you know what? I don't need to do challenge rating. I can just type in the word giant, and that'll get me what I'm looking for.
Oh, giant, of course.
Yes. Yes. Something you have all too much experience with at that. So you throw it in the bushes, in the trees, over that way, and it parts enough that you can get a glimpse, and you notice that it looks like the fur of a squirrel, but it's definitely way bigger than a normal squirrel. You can get the feel that whatever it is probably about the size of a golden retriever.
A squirrel, you said?
Yes, it looks like squirrel fur.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure all of you except Garrus and maybe Captain Flowers, because I haven't copied down Captain Flowers' passives yet. Captain Flowers, what is your bonus? Let me look. Perception, +4. Yeah, Garrus and Flowers are the only two that wouldn't notice that it looked kind of like a squirrel, but way too big.
Well, we're here to kill things, right?
You are here to clear anything causing trouble on the high road. So it could be monsters, undead, demons, angels, aberrations. If it's the wildlife, it's the wildlife.
Yeah.
What do you... Pius, you're probably the best morally ambivalent person here. What do you think? Do we stop for this? It's a problem.
Are they still in the are they still in the bushes? Are they just rustling? Is that all they're doing?
So they are essentially the rustling came up from behind you in the bushes, and has been probably pacing you as you've been going. They don't seem like they're just running ahead, behind. They seem like they're following you, but staying in the bushes.
This could turn ugly if left untouched.
Well, I feel bad for just trying to slaughter them, but should I? And I'd kind of hold the staff up in like a question.
Sure, go for it.
No, don't.
Squirrel beat.
Why not, Pixie?
Use the ring and see what they want.
Well, didn't
No
you
charges
use
left.
the ring? Yeah, we kind of used up the ring already for the day. I can, I guess, see if they're friendly.
Justin,
There you go.
you specifically, after kind of getting a little bit of this conversation here and realizing that you are dealing with giant squirrels, you can't help but remember what happened to poor Jack, Sook, and Rara when they encountered some giant squirrels, and how they nearly died. And then tossed a torment fragment at them, and left giant demonic squirrels roaming the world.
That's not my fault, and you know it,
can't-
damn it.
You're right. It wasn't your fault. It was just a brash decision made mostly by an NPC, egged on by Rara, so not completely on me either. but you can't help but remember this and kind of feel resentment, anger, some type of not so great emotion about these squirrels. Maybe a little bit of laughter because it is kind of funny that squirrels almost killed you. But at the same time, even if that's funny, you probably feel a little fear because you know you're actively face to face with the same life-threatening giant squirrels.
True, but I'm Captain Flowers now. And Captain Flowers, he takes life by the horns, and he fucks that bull.
Some hella reach right there.
Well,
That is some hella reach. So yeah, there's been a suggestion of using the staff from Wrath. Pius said, go for it, and Pixie was like, no, wait, let's see if they're friendly, and you, Justin, Captain Flowers, you get the memories and thoughts about that. So, back into the role play after kind of leveling you all. Nick and Cleth, they seem to be waiting for your lead.
Burn the fuckers!
Burn them? Why?
Burn them! Why? Because I want some fried squirrel meat. Yarr.
I mean, that's a fair point. But if they're not a problem, I do feel bad for just slaughtering the innocent.
It
Are
could
we-
be innocent, but they also could become the problem later. You don't know them.
Well, Pixie, how much do these squirrels mean to you?
They could become
They
the
are
next
innocent.
penguins.
So why don't we wait to see what happens? They're innocent.
No one
I'm
has
gonna
them.
walk over and, like, is there any, like, nuts or anything on the ground, acorns or anything near me?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception?
Check.
Uh,
Yes, perception.
Alright. That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20?
Yep.
There are coconuts. I had to think about what type of trees I was putting on either side of this for a moment to figure out what the hybrids were. They're a combination of pine and palm. So there's coconuts. There are coconuts here. So these giant squirrels eat coconuts, which, based on their size, is about the same as like an acorn to a normal squirrel. So
I kind of jab one with the butt of my staff to, like, crack it open, and then I'm going to pick it up and kind of walk over and offer it to the squirrels as, like, a, you know, are you friendly peace offering.
As Wrath does that, Captain Flowers just pulls out his 2 axes at the same time.
Getting prepared. All right,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wrath, go ahead and roll an animal handling check.
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
ready a sacred flame if one of them bites him.
Oh, that's an 11.
That's an 11. Come on, get to the right page. And why did Discord close on my phone? All right, before I go about the results, Pixie, you had mentioned see how it goes. You can see Captain Flowers readying himself for combat. You can also see Pius preparing a spell just in case, and Wrath is approaching. Is there anything you are preparing to do for whether they're friendly, whether they're violent? Your choice there. But is there
I
anything
don't
you want
know.
to prepare for?
I don't know if dark vision would actually help us in this situation, but
No, definitely
Well,
not. That just means you can
That's
see
a
in the dark.
passive thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just an all the time thing.
I don't think I really have anything to do, so probably not.
Okay. With that though, now that I got the roll done and we've got kind of what everyone's preparing / not preparing for. Yeah, they seem to get the hint that you're friendly. So there are 2 of them right there where you approach, and they kind of climb out of the bush and start stiffing. And yeah, these are squirrels the size of full-grown golden retrievers. And at the same time, there are a handful of squirrels that seem to be coming over out of the bushes and trees on the other side as well. And a little bit further up the path, there's a squirrel that's also coming out of one of the trees over there, dropping down to the ground.
I think you made some friends, but there's quite a bit of them.
Yeah, this is quite a lot. I start looking around for more coconuts to like crack open.
With the perception check you rolled, you found a fair number of them scattered. There's somewhere between like 10 and 15 that you readily identified.
Okay, yeah, I start cracking them open and kind of just putting them all in a pile for them to munch on.
I'll help. I'll help crack them open.
As you're doing that, I gotta pull up some other stats real quick. Problem with the bouncing around from one monster stat block to another.
Guys, I'm like Cinderella in this bitch.
So everyone but Garrus would have enough passive perception for this. As you're kind of cracking those coconuts open, feeding the squirrels, they're all being friendly and such. You notice that the wolves are kind of circling around and preparing to pounce, like they're stalking for a hunt, getting ready to take the squirrels.
I'm gonna put my hands up and kind of walk over towards them and be like, no, 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 not these.
Okay, go ahead and roll an animal handling check.
Oh, 17!
Oh!
It is very unlikely that they will ultimately fail this, so... Oh, dang. I was wrong. I was giving them a negative earlier, but they actually have a +1 wisdom. I read their intelligence, and I still misread their intelligence. Otherwise, the negative would have been worse. Yeah, no. They get the gist of what you're saying, and they start backing off and kind of getting back into a formation, sitting down and patiently waiting.
Captain, the dogs are hungry, if you will.
I can see that. But since I can't have me squirrel meat, I guess I can feed them puppies.
Yeah. I think that's for the best.
So Goodberry is a basic enough spell, kind of classic for adventuring. All of you would know it. You know that the Goodberry itself gave them all the sustenance they need for the whole day. It wouldn't be like a physical need to eat. It's just, oh, meat, giant squirrels. That's prey, I'm predator. That's what was going on, more than they were hungry.
Right, but now what's going on is we're rewarding them for listening. So we're slowly...
You're training the wolves. I like
We're
it.
giving them
Yes.
yes.
So
we're
yeah,
gonna have dire wolves.
between the meat you gave earlier and the meat now, you've used up 1 pound of the meat.
Okay.
So you still got 16 pounds of wolf food.
Cool. Well, I don't see much of a threat from these things unless, somebody's just an asshole to them.
And of course, Justin, that would remind you that the entire reason the squirrel incident happened before was because Rara and Jack decided to hunt the giant squirrels.
Again, not my fault.
Yes, it wasn't Sook's fault at all. Sook, the druid, told them not to hunt the giant squirrels.
Smart druid.
So, yeah. They're animals. Don't be dicks to them, they won't be dicks to you.
True.
Absolutely.
But with that, they get their fill of coconut and everything from you, and because you're on friendly terms, if anyone wanted to pet the squirrels a little, you'd have an opportunity. And then they skitter back off into the trees and the mountain. And with that, you have officially completed part 1 of chapter 1, and everyone has reached level 2. The squirrels were the actual marker for part 1.
Let's go.
Let's go. Easy clap.
So yeah, everyone gains level 2. And we will wrap it up there for the night as well, so we can come back, level 2 added in. Pixie, we already know that your next level is going to be Artificer, so I'll go ahead and add it to your character sheet tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah.
Perfect.
Bush is based that just wants to go eat. That's why she's counseling early.
So we're at the 2-hour mark, so this is actually supposed to be where we wrap up, and it's such a nice part because we've officially completed 1 full side quest, 1 main story quest, and we're halfway through another side quest.
Making progress.
We are making
yeah.
progress. Like, there was so much going on, took 5 sessions, but then, we just full skipped all in 1 2-hour session, just forward a whole bunch.
That's what happens when you're nice to the squirrels, man.
Right. I was, if you
I
guys had gone to do a combat situation, I would have cut it right before we did initiative. Mostly because I actually need to go to the bathroom.
Heads up, I just rolled my hit die in chat. Just if you wanted to see.
Hit die. So it should have only been 1 hit die.
Oh.
Just because you only gained 1 level, you'd only get 1 hit die. Level 1 hit die is always maximized.
Well, no, because we hit level 2, you said, right?
Yes.
Whenever we level up, the hit die for Sorcerer is 2d6.
No, 2d6 is the total number of hit dice you have. You
Oh.
get 1 hit die each level.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah,
that makes sense.
You're starting
Well, I
would be
didn't...
6 plus your Constitution modifier. That would have been your starting hit points. We'll give you the 5 on that roll. Just because more than likely that was actually the first roll. The way that the dice roll bot works on this.
Mm.
I'll take the 3. I don't mind. It's whatever. You let me know.
Your choice. You can take either one, but for everyone else, if you're you can take the average hit die, which is if it's a D8 divided by 2 plus 1 is 5 plus your con mod, or you can roll it, but it's only the 1 die.
1d6.
So, yeah.
Gotcha.
So we'll gain all the benefits of leveling up. You guys have gotten some nifty new items. You've gotten rewards. I just realized that Nick actually would have he would have had time to do some ritual casting so that he could have finished identifying all of the loot you guys had gotten.
Ooh, sweet.
So the main question I have to ask right there is, Captain Flowers, did you actually tell Nick that you had unidentified potions that needed identified?
I did not.
Because he would have said out loud that, hey, Pixie, I need to see those potions. Pius, I need to see that dagger. And actually asked to round up the loot so he could do it all before going to bed. So, Captain Flowers, that means you still have unidentified potions or vials.
Yeah, I would have given him the dagger for sure.
I thought I actually tasted all the potions.
That only gave you a general idea of what they did, not exactly which ones they were.
Okay.
But with that, you know that the healing potions, the 6 of them that you have, they're just standard tonics, lowest tier. The fire vials are fire attack vials, so you throw them and they're kind of like a weak fireball, essentially. They have a 5-foot radius, deal a little bit of fire damage. The status recovery is adrenal stimulant, which recovers from status ailments like poison, petrification, and that sort of thing. Actually, let me open it up so I can give you guys an actual list, because I should have actually typed it all in. I did not. So you'd have to actually go check the video, or I can go back and actually do it. But it's essentially things that can be healed by your adrenal system, so things like poison, petrification, those couple. There's one more on there that I can't remember. It's 3 different ones. But yeah, the main thing they're there to heal is like snake venom or cockatrice, petrification, gorgons, that sort of thing.
Makes sense.
Ooh, guys, I get sorcery points. Let's go.
Ooh.
Ooh, but which meta magics are you starting with?
You don't start with them until 3.
Oh.
But it's going to be, I'm going to go, you get 2, right? It's going to be Quicken and Twin.
Yeah, I was about to ask if you're going to go with the classic ones, Quickened and Twinned.
Oh yeah. I have ideas. Can you imagine multiple enemies being lashed into Pius in the future?
Yeah, that's
Just
my
give 'em
favorite
a
part,
big-
is like, you can only cast 1 level 1 or higher spell, but you have that beautiful, beautiful cantrip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Big barrel and like pop.
Yep.
These are...
And then the other item that Pius has, the dagger. Nick is not able to actually get all of the information about this.
That's
he can tell
concerning.
you its name. He can tell you that it deals necrotic damage instead of its typical damage. He can tell you that it is a +3 dagger. He can't tell you, but he knows that it has another magical effect. And its name is Soul Drinker.
Oh, boy.
Ominous.
This is not the type of item you can just purchase at a store. It is one of a kind. And he can also tell you off of what he got that this is some type of artifact linked to a deity.
Probably not a good one.
With a name like Soul Drinker, that would be the assumption.
Yeah. Good lord.
Pius is a paladin? Or a cleric?
Cleric.
What do you get at 2nd level?
I get my divine, my domain.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
technically you got your domain at first.
Oh yeah, I did, huh?
Yep. But I think you get something related to the domain at level 2, so...
Yeah, I get a feature, and I can channel divinity as well.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah. And then Pixie is taking her first level of Artificer.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, Pixie's supposed to be a dual class Paladin Artificer, so the first 2 levels were very set. She'll get to choose which one she takes for a level each way up now from this point, but just like the rest of you are kind of choosing whether you're multi-classing or not or anything. Just Pixie and I worked out this build like a year ago. It originally started as a backup character for her, so we actually have a plan with it. So, yeah. We're all nice and wrapped up. You guys are, of course, free. But, you know, before we really wrap up, I have a live stream to go ahead and end. So, to everyone watching, thank you. Quick reminder, you know, I said earlier, yesterday was my birthday. I was in pain, and obviously I'm not doing super well financially. That's why we got to GoFundMe and buy me a coffee down below if you want to support me financially there. We've got Deuce's TikTok if you want to go check out some artwork. And, of course, there's also the shop with shirts, merch, all that fun stuff. And, you know, thanks for joining us. So, bye!
Bye.
Boy.
Yarr, it's a duck.
Oh no, where's my
Yarr.
mouse?
It's a penguin.
Yarr,
Watch it.
there! It's I speak.